So check this out, Marathon won't use traditional skill-based matchmaking. Instead, Marathon will match players by runner level, all right? And quote, there's going to be a skill-based matchmaking based on a skill. Wow, okay, that's a little redundant, but there's going to be matchmaking based on your runner's level, which is an aggregate of how much time you put into the game, how much experience points you put in. So we do want to have some protection from players that are very new versus people who put hours into the game, said Marathon assistant game director Del Chafe III in an interview with Dr. Lupo. Might have butchered his name, not 100% sure. Now, at first glance, this sounds really good, right? Marathon's protecting its new players, awesome. It's going to keep the new players away from the veterans. But if you look a little bit deeper here, this might create a few more problems than it will actually solve. Again, the goal is to separate the newbies from the veterans. Totally understand that. But not based on kill counts or kill death ratios or overall mechanical skill. You know, instead they want to use the runner level, which is going to be based on how much time have you put in, how many missions have you completed, how much experience have you gained throughout your runs. And yeah, look, I totally get it because Bungie wants to avoid that SBMM or EOMM trap that most games have out there. Again, I respect that and I do commend that because as the homie Hidden Xperia says right here in this tweet, SBMM just flat out would not work in an extraction shooter. Reason number A, or one of the reasons I should say, 0 to heroes would be nigh on impossible because strict rank balancing would encourage everyone to run meta gear to be on a level playing field, and gear variation in general would be severely neutered. Again, I agree completely here. Again, Bungie, I see what you're trying to do, but at the same time, we're going to run into some issues if we only factor in runner level when it comes to matchmaking. One of the big glaring issues is that all high-level players are not necessarily the best when it comes to PvP. Think about it. You could be a high-level runner because you're really good at completing objectives. You're really good at looting, figuring out where things are, completing puzzles, avoiding fights. You could do all that good stuff, right? And still rank up. But what's going to happen when they throw you into a lobby full of absolute PvP monsters, you know? Like, you are going to get cooked. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're absolutely going to get cooked. You're not going to be able to avoid them as well as you were when you were at a lower runner level, and the game is going to eventually become unenjoyable for you. And as an objective focused player, you are now put at a massive disadvantage. And yeah, I know there will be people out there that just say, you know, get good, dude. Come on, what you talking about? Get good at PvP then. But that kind of takes away from what an extraction shooter is. And an extraction shooter is a game that you should be able to approach through various playstyles and still find some type of enjoyment from. You know what I'm saying? So with that all being said, look, I have a proposition right here. I have a really, really good idea that I believe should be taken into account if possible, right? Like, again, I don't know anything about development, especially when it comes to gaming, even more when it comes to large AAA projects like Marathon, right? But if this is something that could be looked at, I think it would be well worthwhile, you know? I think there should be something that we can just call hybrid matchmaking, all right? And this is where we take multiple metrics into account, okay? So we can't take runner level into account because that does let you know how experienced somebody is. You know how many missions were they able to complete, yada, yada, yada. Okay, we can take that into account. That's all good. That's all good. But maybe we should take into account something that we can call like a combat rating. You know what I'm saying? How many gunfights with other players did this person get into, right? How many gunfights did this person win? How many knocks did this person get? How many revives did this person get, right? So you can start to be able to cultivate and build an actual combat profile for that individual. And that can be something that can be taken into account. Again, I don't know how intricate that would be to bring something like that into the mix, but if it is something that can be done, I would highly encourage it. Alongside the combat rating and runner level, we can even have something like being able to tag behavior, right? Like if we can get really, really intricate with this, I would love if Bungie could take into account somebody's playstyle, right? Like what's their extraction rate? You know what I'm saying? Like how many out of 100 matches, how many successful exfils were there, right? You know, their aggression. How many gunfights did this individual initiate? How many gunfights did this individual diverge from? You know what I'm saying? I would love if we can track those type of things because that could be something else that could be interwoven into what we would call this player profile, right? So we would have the runner level, of course, the combat profile, and then player behavior, and we can cultivate those things into that player profile and we matchmake based off of that. And again, I think that gives lobbies so much more leeway to be, I don't even want to use the term balance, but to be fair, you know? And however you want to mix and match those runners, Bungie, feel free to do so, right? Like if it's a lobby of 18 people, you don't want all 18 people being people that disengage from gunfights, right? Like that's boring, right? But maybe you get 6 people that are aggressive. Maybe you get 6 people that are a bit avoidant. Maybe you get 6 people that are incredibly tactical, right? How does that play out, right? The aggressive team runs into the tactical teams pick apart the aggressive teams, the teams that don't like fighting somehow get ran and now they have to fight. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that causes more of a balanced overall run, for lack of a better term, and I think that could end up being cool. Again, I don't know. You guys probably already thought about this, and by you guys, I mean Bungie. This probably has already been taken into consideration. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here because I think matching people just off of runner levels is that's too surface level for a game as intricate as Marathon, especially with the genre that Marathon is, because again, this is an extraction shooter. This isn't a battle royale, right? So everything matters, you know? Objectives matter, team coordination matters, all that stuff. There's so many other variables that come into play, so there should be more things that are taken into account when it comes to the matchmaking, you know? So if anybody from Bungie checks this out, please know I'm coming from a good place and this is just constructive criticism. I like where your minds are, but I think we could use a little bit of refinement here. You know what I'm saying? For all my other viewers out there, let me know down in the comments what you all are thinking about what I suggested about the matchmaking in general. And please keep it civil. As I always say, I don't want no ridiculous doom and gloom negativity here. Like, there's enough of that out in the world. If you want that, go get it somewhere else. You ain't gonna get it here. You know, I'm just trying to have constructive conversations. I'm trying to be as positive and optimistic as possible. And again, I want to be able to have a good time on Marathon once it releases. So again, let me know down in the comments below. It's been your boy Cray. We are signing out. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one.